Yeah?
Jake.
Huh?
Jake.
What?
My Jake.
Alright, Jesus, just stop. I'm gonna go see your friggin' movie. Oh my god. Avatar: The Way of Water is brought to us by director James Cameron and stars Sam Worthington, Sigourney Weaver, and Zoe Saldana. Jake Sully lives with his newfound family formed on the extrasolar moon Pandora. Jake must work with Neytiri and the army of the Na'vi race to protect their home. So it's finally here, 32 years later, Avatar 2. I'm not gonna give some like trite retrospective on the first Avatar. Everybody's seen this damn movie, and if you have ever visited this channel, you probably know I really enjoyed the movie. Did it have its issues? Yes, like any other movie. Was its story a bit derivative of some other well-known stories? Yeah, sure it was, like many other movies. But overall, I thought it was a fantastic experience that I still enjoy till this day. Also, James Cameron has not ever really made a bad movie. Some people would point to Piranha 2, but he really didn't make that. He got fired from that movie like real early in production. So in the lead up to Avatar: The Way of Water, I was pretty excited. But at the same time, admittedly, I was a bit scared. It's been 13 years since we got a James Cameron movie, and it's been 13 years since the first Avatar. Does he still have it? Will he be able to provide another groundbreaking, exciting story like before? Well, yeah, he absolutely did. I'm not gonna go on and on about the visuals here. I don't think anybody is denying that this movie looks absolutely phenomenal. You can shit all over the story all day if you want, but this movie is a visual masterpiece. I'll go as far as to say this is the best damn looking movie I have ever seen as far as CGI goes. It's not just the CGI. The movie just looks really damn good. This is some masterful filmmaking. So in other words, it goes without saying, the movie looks great. I do suggest seeing it in 3D, even if you're not into 3D films, because the 3D here is fucking mind-blowing. Apparently, James Cameron is the only filmmaker in Hollywood that knows how to properly utilize 3D. It's not all about shit popping out of the screen at you, it's about depth. It's about making the world look bigger, and this movie absolutely does that. Also, the movie is shot at what's called a veritable frame rate. That means at times it's at 24 frames per second, which is what most movies are made at, and at other times it's at high frame rate, which would be 48 frames per second. Now, high frame rate in the past has not worked out so good in my opinion. You have movies like the Hobbit trilogy and that one movie with Will Smith. The Will Smith one looked okay, but the Hobbit trilogy looked like it was a TV movie in HFR. Here, most of the high frame rate scenes are the more action-oriented scenes. Not so much those slow scenes where people are just sitting there talking. This is scenes where stuff is happening and it doesn't stand out as much. The HFR here looks really damn good. Now, you can tell when it happens, but it's not you can tell because it looks bad. You can tell because all of a sudden it's like the screen opens up. This is how you do high frame rate. It looks fantastic here, and it also helps with the 3D. Those of you out there that 3D might make you a little bit sick or give you a headache, I think that this high frame rate might actually fix that. Since you're getting double the frames, you don't have nearly as much of a flicker. Even if you don't see that flicker, your eyes do pick up on it, and that's what gives some people motion sickness and headaches. Here, you don't get nearly as much of that. This 3D and just the visuals overall are buttery smooth. So alright, that's about all I'm going to say about the visuals. They're fucking fantastic. This is the best looking movie ever made. Though I have tried to stay away from other people's opinions on the film until I saw it, what I have seen and heard, people have really been talking about the visuals a lot. We don't hear as much about the story, and I want to talk about that, but no spoilers. Some, not everybody, have been saying that the story is thin. And I suppose in the traditional sense, yeah, it kind of is. Thin's not really the word I would use. I would say simple. This is a fairly simple story on the surface. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody, but just know that nobody's going to be confused as to what's going on here. It's a very easy to follow story. But Avatar: The Way of Water is about more than just this story. It's about this world. The movie goes a long way in world building. Practically the entire second act is all world building. We do get a few story beats here, but it's all about building out this world, letting us know what it's all about and seeing more of Pandora. And along with that, we're also getting new characters and a whole lot of character development. While I'm not going to ruin the story, I will say that this story focuses a lot less on Jake and Neytiri and more on their kids. I was actually pretty taken back as to how much time this movie spends with the kids. And having spent this whole other movie with Jake and Neytiri, you may be like, well, those are the characters I want to spend the most time with, not these these new characters, but we still do get Jake and Neytiri and their continued story, but this is very much about their family. It's them and their kids, but granted, there is quite a focus on their children. And I think that's what's throwing some people off. The whole middle portion of this film isn't really moving the story per se forward. It is moving the narrative forward by building out the world and getting to know these characters, but not really the overall story. But that's okay, because getting to know these characters and seeing this world bloom in front of you is really damn interesting and entertaining. Something else that really resonated with me, but maybe not so much with some other people, would be how much this movie's about family. If you don't have a family, I could see that maybe some of these things won't be as impactful to you. When I say family, I mean like a partner and kids and all that stuff, not a family. I suppose everybody has a family, but this movie's very much about your immediate family. And I can see how some people that don't have that, maybe it won't resonate as much with them. But me, having a family, a quite large family, a lot of this spoke to me. I really understood it. This movie did a really good job of showing the difference in life after you have kids. Jake and Neytiri were badasses. They would jump into battle at the drop of a hat, but now they have these 4 children that they have to worry about, and that's their main concern. They're not so quick to aggressive action. Sure, they'll do what they gotta do, but they are always looking to their family and saying what's best for them. Every action, every move that they make, they take that into consideration, and I thought the movie did a really good job in projecting that to us, the viewer. So yeah, I really enjoyed that aspect of the film, and every single thing that happens in this movie has to do with the Sully family. Now, there are a few story beats and moments in this film that are taken from the first film, but I didn't really see it as egregious. I saw it as more of kind of a callback or a homage to the original. Our story here is fairly different, I thought, than the original, but there are still those callbacks. There are some things and even some scenes and some lines that are spoken that are straight up from the first film. But I did get the feeling that that was intentional. These are direct callbacks to that film. Some people are framing those as negatives, but me myself, I kind of enjoyed them. Our villain this time around, while I'm not going to spoil who it is, I thought was a bit more relatable than the first film. Now, I really like Stephen Lang, who was the villain in the first film's character, but a lot of that was just Stephen Lang. We didn't really get a lot of character building from that character. And this one, we do get a bit more of that. We get to know this character a bit more, and while we don't like him, we do come to understand some of his motivations. Some of his motivations are just fucked up, and they are pretty simple and in your face, and you can understand that. But he does have some conflict within himself that I did like to see in the movie. It did add more depth to the character and the story. So at the end of the day, when it comes to the story, is it simple? Yeah, overall, it is a fairly simple story, but there is a lot to be told here, though a lot of it is world building and character development. While that's not necessarily as traditional a story as we're used to, I think that the time here that we spent with this movie is extremely entertaining, and I was never let down by the story. I was on board with these characters from beginning to end. By the time you get to that end, you are absolutely in there. You feel like you're part of that Sully family and you want them to get theirs. Well, not get theirs, that sounds kind of bad. You want the bad guys to get theirs. You want the Sully family to come out on top. Also, I'm not going to say much more about the story because I don't want to ruin anything, but I will say that the final act of this movie, especially closer to the end, has some emotional gut punches that the first movie just never did. Like, there's some moments that, well, yeah, I'm not a big crier, but there was an awful lot of sniffling going on in that theater. I guess I could mention the action and the excitement, but I mean, it's a James Cameron movie. The guy knows what he's doing in that department. So yeah, you're getting a really exciting action-filled flick. I will say that all that character development we get in that middle portion of the film really pays off with those more exciting scenes and makes them even more exciting because you are very invested in these characters. So when they're put in peril, you really feel it. You are like, oh no, I don't want something bad to happen to these characters I've gotten to know. And that just makes the absolutely fantastic action scenes even better. Guys, at the end of the day, Avatar: The Way of Water was what I wanted. It paid off. I was not disappointed. It is an exciting, fantastic looking film that expands upon this world even more than I ever thought that it could. The story is a bit simple, but that was to its benefit. That allowed you to have this story that you could understand and easily follow and focus on the world and the characters, getting to know all of these people and these characters within the story, so when things started to go down, you really cared and it hit you the way it was supposed to. This was a monumental film in my opinion, and I loved every minute of it. Was it better than the first one? Yeah, it was, and I absolutely loved the first one. What else it was an absolute, without a doubt, 100% unicorn. Woo! Been a while since I gave one of those out. Been a while since I made a video, period. But whatever. Guys, go see Avatar: The Way of Water. It's an absolutely fantastic time. Don't go in there and try and pick it apart and just find all the little things wrong with it. Don't listen to other people. Don't even listen to me. Just go see this movie and experience it the way it's meant to be seen. If you do that, you go in there and just have a good time with it, I guarantee when you come out, it will be one of the best experiences you've had all year. So there it is, guys. My review of Avatar: The Way of Water. If you enjoyed, want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and help my little channel grow. If you want to help out the channel, check out my Patreon in the description below. Become a jarhead and get some of the awesome benefits to go along with that, like these guys. And possibly join my top tier and become a bad motherfucker like my man Silverlock and Marge G. If you liked what I had to say, give me a like. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, stay sexy, Pandora.
And I need you to be strong.
So alright, let me just address the elephant in the room. Yes, those of you that follow my channel, it's been a while. I needed a break. I did a live stream about a month ago from this recording telling everyone, hey, you know what, I'm going to change some things on my channel. I'm going to start focusing on content that only I want to focus on. And there have been some videos. I've been working on a new kind of video, a larger video, and that is coming soon. But I am going to get back into giving more regular content on a weekly basis. It's not going to be every day or every other day like it was before, but I am going to commit to at least releasing 2 to 3 videos a week. I do have a new kind of video coming soon that I'm really excited about, but it is taking quite a while for me to kind of suss out all the details and get it put together. I've never made something quite this expansive. But just know, those of you that follow the channel, no, I haven't quit YouTube or anything. I just needed some time off. It kind of happened. I didn't mean for it to go down that way. It's just like I took a couple of days and I said, hey, I want a couple of more days. And I said, I want a couple of more days. And, you know, then a month happened. But Avatar: The Way of Water changed all that. So thanks, James Cameron. I'm back now.